time we are going to talk about the Hyperlite Mountain Gear packing pods. I've been using these now for more than 3 years and I slowly have bought more and more for my gear. Started with 2 I think, and then I just got more. They are not the cheapest, but they seem to be quite durable, so I'm quite happy with them so far. What I use is the 4400 model, and most of my pods are the large variety. There is another one which is designed for the bit smaller backpacks, and also we have 2 versions of both types, so there is the small and the large one. They are shaped not exactly rectangular, a bit rounded, so they fit into the backpacks quite well. I have now, at the moment, I haven't used the porter, so it leaves a bit of extra space outside the pod, in between the pod and the backpack pouch, but I can fit loose items like life vests, packrafting gear, dry suit and stuff. I can stuff that in between, so that's good. Also I use a liner in between the backpack, these pods. The pods are, I would say, water resistant. It's Dyneema material with taped seams, and the zipper is water resistant. It's not exactly waterproof. There is a tiny hole there, and the water can seep in a bit of it, but not too much. Almost any seal nylon, like normal lightweight dry sack, will start to leak after use. So far all of my dry sacks, seal nylon, like the thin ones, they will start to leak at some point after prolonged usage. Only thing that is truly submersible and waterproof are the thick ones, PVC and so on. And also I have one other example here. But let's get back to the pods. So yeah, they have a zipper which is like one-sided. These small loops that help to pull the zipper, also to hang these to dry on both sides. There's one. The big ones, they can take quite a nice amount of gear. I think officially maybe about 12 liters, but these fit, I would say, like 10 liters. Nice amount of space in there and keeps things organized. So I have developed my own organizing system over the years now. I'll get back to that later. But first about the pods. So yeah, some of them do show some signs of usage here, but still no real damage on any of these. All of the packing pods are basically okay. I have not needed to fix any of them. They are easy to repair with the tape. Gorilla tape seems to work just fine. You can also get the special Dyneema tape. When empty, they basically don't take any space. Fits in a pocket. Doesn't weigh much. Okay, it's more than a plastic bag, but also much more reliable. For most things I use these pods. They fit for kayaking. I have the 10-liter dry sacks from Carimore SF, among other things, but I have those. And these fit exactly inside those pouches, one per one. So I have a waterproof layer for each one of these for kayaking, and these are nice shape. They form nicely, so I can push them into the hull of the kayak, inside the kayak. Yep, that's one good usage. Other thing is, these fit also nicely into my Packrafts, the MRS Nomad S1 internal storage system tubes. The back pods I could just push them as is in there. I can clip them with a carabiner, like 2 per side, or I can use the long, like a very long tube dry sack that came with the Packraft and put these in there. Yeah, and these fit also the HMG Metro or Summit backpacks that I use for day trip, but not the usual way. These has to go in the other way. But I could put the Essentials pod in there, and along with the jacket and stove and something else. So yeah, fits also like that. Yep, with the pods I am quite happy. With the packing pouches, not so much due to the bad quality here. So yeah, these I unfortunately cannot recommend, and I don't think I will be buying more of these pouches. It is starting to fray, to come loose, and it's getting stuck in here. It still works, but it's not very good. You can see it's breaking up here. And I have also one other thing. This is from Hyperlite Mountain Gear as well. This is a packing pillow. There's a pillow on one side. This is now inside out. But this also suffers from poor construction quality. It started breaking up almost after the first couple of months of use, and now the zipper is getting stuck with these Dyneema fibers By the way, these are very strong. I almost get like paper cuts if I try to pull them out. Not happy with this one either. I tried to repair it with Gorilla tape. That helps a bit, but yeah, now it's breaking next to the taping, so yeah. Good idea, but unfortunately it's not really robust enough. And this is not after 3 years of use. This started happening after like 2 months or half a year. Less than half a year, I would say. It's still usable, but it is in no way water resistant anymore. Alright, that's the complaints, but with the pods, as I said, I am happy and I might even get more. I know nowadays there is competition on the market, so I might check out if there is other options available. Especially I'm looking for something that is a bit bigger. The same footprint, but taller. Like this, maybe 15 liters or a bit less than 20 liters size. Something that would fit the Metro backpack, maybe exactly, Summit or Metro. And also I could put a bit bigger quilts or sleeping bags, buffy jacket, winter kit in it. Haven't found anything suitable yet. What's my system nowadays? This is more like for summer season, but it is also the basis for all of my kits, except for ultralight, or like when I go really ultralight. Then I don't use these, but that's a special occasion. Normally I try to go like lightweight, and then I usually have camera gear or packrafting gear or something else on top. But anyways, what I have, the first things first, this is the most often used. It's called E&E or Emergency and Essentials, as I have called it. Here we have basic equipment. There's a bivouac sack. For summer use or 3-season use, I have this from Exped. You can fit 2 persons in here. Very cozy, so. But it works also as a rain poncho, quite big one. Or an extra cover for a hammock. Or like an inner liner for a tent. I have used it in all of these rolls before. And also you can make a small tarp with it. And it's red, so it's quite visible. Then I have some snacks in here, some food, not too much, but a bit. A heat pad, hand warmers. This might be a bit too much, but there is a saw. This is a wilderness area, and I am by myself alone here, so I have to be quite self-sufficient. It's summer, still it's not unheard of that it might even snow. And a proper knife. These things change. It's not always the same. This knife I use in, like, let's say, more serious conditions, and in winter. Midsummer in southern Finland or somewhere else out of like more warm country, or where the weather is more predictable, I might go with light equipment, like the knife could be much smaller, pen knife or something, no saw, no need for hand warmers. And then I have this, it says FAK, first aid kit, EA is ensiapu in Finnish. So what I have here? I have a small first aid kit, first aid items, repair items. I have a small electronics kit. There is a power bank, cables and a chargeable headlamp backup. Oh, actually in summertime in Lapland this is my only lamp, as I do not need a headlamp really, but just in case. Then there is fire starter kit, bit of birch bark, cotton, lighter, inner tube and so on. Yep, a bigger warmer, piece of Dyneema cord, compass, like extra compass. This is a small mirror also for signaling, and yeah, if I get something in my eye. Mosquito repellent, essential for where I am now. And emergency flag, reflective flag. And inside there I have sunglasses wrapped in here, spare sunglasses. So that's about it. Usually I also have a buff somewhere, but it's not here at the moment because I have used it. So yeah, that's the emergency kit. Then we have clothes. Usually what I have in here almost every time is a thin insulating jacket, synthetic one. It's light insulation layer. So I have this Hyperlite, the Swedish Lim series synthetic jacket, insulating jacket, very thin, but that's almost always there. Pants, very lightweight. I think also from Hyperlite, same series, not insulating but for sleeping and use in the camp. These clothes are meant to be used in the camp and not while moving. Okay, this is a down vest. Usually this is more like my sleeping gear, just like no sleeves, just a vest, very lightweight. So, and also I have a spare set of like underwear here, usually merino wool in the clothes kit. This is like the basic clothing. Then for winter I add heavier jackets, belay jackets and so on. Of course there are spare socks too and spare gloves. Then we have one for the ultimate, the tent, or my other tents or hammocks as well. The tent is up now, I am inside it, so there is nothing to see except for these straps and my extras for the tent setup. So these are used for if I want to use hiking poles or something else that I need to tie together to make the center pole of the tent. They are basically ski straps, I think. Some extra cord to tie around rocks, some Dyneema cord if it's really sharp rocks, some extra pegs and all the extras from the tent setup. There is one for the inner. I keep the inner, the insert separate, so yeah, I can first set up the outer, the actual tent when it's raining, and then I can just crawl in and get all my stuff in and then set up the interior out of the rain. This is unmarked one, it's just full of food. Usually I have food in here, or if it's a shorter day trip or something, I might also use this unmarked one for climbing gear. So then we have sleeping kit. It's in use at the moment because I'm in the tent. But usually I have one Thermarest inflatable mattress here, depending on the season, which one. Then a silk liner, sleeping bag liner. That can also be used for sleeping indoors or in tropical conditions. Or boosted my quilt a bit. And almost always nowadays, summer, winter, I use a quilt. But I use it in combination with other things like sleeping bags and bivouac sacks and so on. So I make a combination of different sleeping insulation systems. And also, of course, all the clothing can be used as part of the sleeping system. Dry clothing, that is. So yeah, if I get my hiking clothes wet or damp, then of course I have to take those off, and then I have a separate dry sleeping clothes set in here or in the clothes bag. So yeah, that's sleeping. Then we have, so camp includes my stove, so cooking kit, usually it is in here. Stove again depends on the season. Now it's summer, so I have only the small canister top titanium stove. In winter, or if I was planning to go somewhere very windy or spend a lot of time up on the tree line or in the archipelago on the sea, I would use a different kind of stove, but this is fine for now. Then I have mosquito or insect repellent kit. There's like a spare head net and mosquito repellent and so on. Then we have water. There's like a folding bucket, water filter. Nowadays I mostly use the Sawyer micro squeeze and funnel for pouring water into my platypus water containers. I mainly use platypus containers nowadays. I had also Knock Vector, but I don't like it. I used it for a year or so, but then I got back into my old platypus. It has tighter seal with the Sawyer, and also I find this easier to manage. Yeah. Then toiletries. Yeah, there is toilet paper, trowel for digging a hole, and what else? Yeah, wet wipe, or actually I have already used one, but I have like two for a week or so. Usually I have also a mini microfiber towel here. So I have a bit bigger one with me and it's packed separately. Also I can have some food for like the current day's food in here, and maybe I might have a power bank and charging cables in here and so on. But not this time, because I have a special pod with me now. This is totally waterproof. This is submersible. It's from Nite Ice, and this, in my opinion, this is like truly waterproof. And this is for electronics, spare maps, paperwork and so on. So I keep my power bank and camera equipment and such stuff in here. It is approximately the same size as the pods from Hyperlite Mountain Gear, a bit larger, but not too much. So it works nicely with those pods. And after my trip, I wash everything, dry, air out, and then pack them again, replenish any consumables, and make them ready. Of course, trips are different, and there's small changes every time, but at least most of the kit is ready to go. And this prevents me from forgetting too much stuff. Although nowadays I do use a packing list checklist.